Alrighty guys, how's it going today? Let's take a look at in this video our memory stocks because they have been doing some flip-flopping over here, right? So we'll take a look at Micron, Sandisk, SK Hynix, Seagate, Nvidia. Are these all still a great plays or you gotta put your money somewhere else? Well, let's talk about all of that in this video. We also had Marvel's earnings yesterday, then Nvidia happened prior to that. All that price action in this video, I'll be talking with you. Now, before going further, as always, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. And also, the days the video doesn't come out here on the public channel, it does come out on my members only section. So yesterday I talked about definitely these memory stocks and all with many other stocks with my members, and also our new stock picks are already skyrocketing. I gave here and there, not here and there, whenever there are new opportunities also I add new stocks in the list. It's all about patience and discipline, guys, right? And those new picks are already going through the roof. All right, check out the details in my memberships. Details you will find in the description of this video. Now, coming back over here on Micron, we, as I said, have been flip-flopping around over here. Nvidia's earnings did push it up, but the following day it gave up the gains again. That was around that 946 to 930 area. Let's get to the hourly interval right away. Now, having said that, well, let's go back to the daily interval for a second here. Having said that, the bottom that I gave you, we are still technically profitable, but position management should be done from where we are because we are a little bit going sideways. But you don't have to fully liquidate the position, but definitely should have taken partial profits in these bounces after we started to lose significant levels, right? So what are we seeing right now? So this is the new updated zone. 930 to 945 is the zone that we have to start closing days above again. Even though Micron is holding this significant level 915, that's a great sign. But at this point, since it has flopped or flip-flopped around here quite often, we need to clear up. All right, and that's where the zone we have to see is the one above. So not just 915 to 930 is sufficient. We have to fully get out above 945 at this point. However, as I said, there is no reason right now to fully get out of your long position. That still can be held, but just make sure when you see some slowness at these significant levels, right, like over here as well, just consider taking some partial profits if slowness comes. And especially when we are in the strength, when we start to lose significant level, that's your sign you gotta start sizing down as well, because multi-day weakness is happening. Again, all these zones are marked by my tools automatically for you. I get access to my tools from the description of this video as well. Let's get to Sandisk. Sandisk also in a very similar boat, even though we are still profitable from the bottom that I gave you. We are a little bit going at least this whole week sideways. Let's get to the hourly interval. Now on Sandisk, we had to start to close above 1500. Nvidia's earnings did push it up, but then it rejected the next day at the above significant level, and that's why earnings around the volatility and all will really move around the stock up and down quite massively, and thus there will be breaches of zones. But we want to see a consistency the following day. If we don't see it, it negates that earning moves, which in this case for Nvidia, how it affected these memory and all. Having said that, it is also just like Micron is still holding one of the good areas, 1450 here. It's not like overall bearish, it's still part of a pullback though. This whole price action is still part of a pullback here. But 1540 and above, as we can start to regain it above again and start to close above it, we are all good. Again, the problem on the overall structure will be like if we start to make next leg lower below like 1400 or so. Otherwise above that you don't really have any reason to get out of your full position. SK Hynix is still, look, yes, sideways, but with SK Hynix it's very simple, 150 above. We are still technically to the upside. That's the only play on this thing. Above 150, you are on the, you have positioned yourself already. Technically, this was the bottom that I gave you at 135. So that was pretty much the sign to enter. And then this is your trailing area. And we are still technically bullish on SK Hynix. Seagate is still in the sideways choppiness here with a little bit crawling down still, but then also making its crawl way back up. The point that we have to focus on is it, has it gained or has it marked its pullback complete? It is trying to stabilize, I'll give it that. But is this sufficient stabilization that we are really in a strong momentum? Not so. Point being, this is the zone, one of those 840. If it can hold it and stay above it, it can start to recover in the strength. And then definitely 801 is the next zone that we gotta stay above. If anytime we start to lose 801, this stabilization phase is over. So right now Seagate is trying to stabilize, and as if it can break out levels above, it can again start to a little bit push up. Again, there is an expectation it's gonna stay choppy sideways. It's also becoming a mature stock, and that's pretty much what the reason is. Nvidia. So Nvidia after earnings gapped up nicely. Okay, now hey, as I I talked about this scenario with my members as well, right? I said that look, Nvidia is it's known to be choppy for more than a year now. Okay, so there is no reason that this time it can be different, and it may not be different. The point remains, you cannot short Nvidia. The point is that you cannot swing short it. Multi-day day trade, those are different stories, but you cannot swing short Nvidia over here, right? While I'm talking Nvidia here, guys, I just moved my list here because I'm checking my other stocks, right? Guys, you gotta be a member. Like, you are missing out on so much money, I'm telling you. And it's not an overnight rich thing. Okay, I'm not telling you, oh, tonight you're gonna get a stock from me and tomorrow you will become super rich. No, none of that. It's all about patience, discipline, catching on the moves, as I talk about the price action on those very stocks. And every stock every other day is not gonna run up. It's about building through the position. It's about understanding the price action. It's knowing where to get into a position. And I provide all those forward-looking outlook. And as I have told you previously, and I don't like to say it over and over again, but that's the reality. And my members, over the course of years and months even, have 100 times, 200 times, 300 times their money. The longer they have stayed, the more multiple of their money they have made by now, just by following my videos, what I talk in there. But you have to be patient, okay? All right, let's get back over here. So Nvidia doing its again, choppiness here, coming down, not giving us a follow through to the upside. That's okay. I'm not too worried about that because I'm not a right now big player on Nvidia. My Nvidia's positions are mostly either day trades, and pretty much that's what it is. So the point is that Nvidia, this was the zone that it was supposed to hold. It did hold for an hour, but that's the whole point. You have to read the price action at these zones. We held, but now since the next candle is not confirming it, that means risk management should be done, because we need to see a follow through. First candle did. That's how it was supposed to do. But since we didn't see a follow through, that means risk management. That's why you have to see the price action at these zones. Marked by my tools all automatically for you. Anyways, Nvidia, as I said, it's not like a short that you can do. I believe it will still remain bullish even through these pullbacks, but be prepared to be very patient, and still may just go choppy. So just if you really like Nvidia, you can just position yourself in this thing, and just if you want to do it swing bullish, then just hold for as long as it takes, right? If you're doing Nvidia, that's the whole story. Similarly with AMD, that's the whole thing, is that Well, personally, I don't have any position in AMD right now, and at these tops, I would not really want to buy. Point is that it still remains choppy for us, not going down and not breaking out to the upside. So you cannot do options for sure on this. You're gonna just, you know, your options gonna just degrade in value, and you also cannot play any. You can do day trades, but nothing more than that right now. It's choppy. There is no money, there is no tradable position on AMD right now, none, nada. Okay, put your money somewhere else when it comes to AMD. ARM still remains bearish. I did update, well, not update, but I highlighted a zone, but that zone remains still the same that I told my members. 268 below will remain still bearish on this thing. And you can see we already had 2 rejections there, and I already told you this was the zone even back up here. That's why these zones are so important. Intel is bouncing today, but guys, it's still overall in the negative structure. We do have like some bounces for the days, and it's just more of a multi-day strength, holding a significant level below, regained a significant level above, but then rejecting upon the top. It's just a multi-day strength right now, nothing more than that. If anytime we again lose 89.60, it's over again. Multi-day strength is also gone. Then it will have to still get above 95 and $100 for me before any upside can be looked at. Marvel had its earnings yesterday. Poor thing is coming down, but that's okay. This is where I gave you the bottom. I kept telling you take partial profits, and yes, now in this case, since we have gap down, you gotta be careful. You gotta take more profits in your that ongoing position. Once we start to fully lose yellow zone, it's over. The trade is over on this thing. But you should already be a little bit sizing down your position since here as well, and now more. And this is your hard stop loss below yellow zone for this trade that we started from that green zone. Alrighty guys, look, market is not bad if you look at the overall picture. Memory and semiconductors are or chip stocks are a little bit sideways, but hey, there are opportunities elsewhere as well. Check out my members only videos if you want to be up to date with all those things. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos, guys. Take care. Bye.